Good morning. It's Tuesday and I gotta turn all my lights on. Well, I won't turn all of them on because it's gonna be a sunny day today. And so some of the lights don't need to be on because you really can't see them that good. But I'll turn on my trees. So yesterday I did some of my Christmas baking. I didn't know if I was gonna really do any Christmas baking this year outside of making, fudge and that sort of thing, but Adam was asking for Buckeyes and gingerbread cookies, and so we did those, and everybody likes the cream wafers, and that's Josiah's favorite too. And then I'm still wanting to make some sugar cookies. I'm trying to see how that's going to work into my schedule. If I don't make them before I leave for Ohio here in a couple days, I can probably make them when I come back, and that's if I make them. It's really busy this week. As you can see, I've already been in the shower, and I have a dentist appointment here early this afternoon. So I didn't make the cream wafer cookies itself yesterday because we just ran out of time. What I did was I made the dough for it, and so I gotta take that out. And I have leftover sauce from yesterday. I just baked some chicken and I made some sauce, and then we just had sauce over pasta. That was enough. And so here's my dough. I've got two. And I'm going to have to let these sit out a little bit before I can even roll them. You're supposed to only refrigerate it for, like 30 minutes, but they've been in since yesterday afternoon. So they're going to have to sit here for a little bit, but that's okay because I'm going to make more sauce. I've got to run out to the freezer, and I need to get some meat because I'm making lasagna today. See, I'm thinking when you get really busy like this, you really have to have like easy meals to put together. Either something that you could throw in the oven, like yesterday I threw the chicken in the oven, and then I made my sauce, and then say I didn't have to worry about dinner until like 20 minutes before we ate, and that's when I made the pasta, like that. So I'm gonna make my sauce, get my meat out and fry that, put it in the sauce, and then that'll be done. And then when I get ready to put the lasagna together, I just have to boil the noodles. So let's see. So I gotta bake the cookies today. I have to I'll chat while I go out to the freezer. What else do I gotta do? Go to the dentist. So then after I'm done making the cookies this morning, I am going to try to do a little bit of cleaning. Monday is my laundry cleaning day. I did do laundry. I did, was it 2 loads or 3 loads of laundry yesterday? And I didn't do any cleaning because I went to the grocery store. No, not to the grocery store. Where did I go? I went to Walmart, and I wanted to pick up some things while I was there, and then by the time we came back, it was time to make cookies. When we got back yesterday, it was about 10 to 1 from running that errand over at Walmart, so we didn't start baking everything until after we got home. And I remember there was another thing that we made too, was strawberry cookies. So here, let me turn on my light here, and I'll just show you. So I try to make at least something that everybody likes, and Carly likes these. I just roll them into balls. I don't shape them into like strawberries, but so it's strawberry cookies. That's Carly's favorite. Everybody likes Buckeyes, but Adam was the one that asked for those. Let's see. We did the gingerbread cookies, but I didn't do gingerbread men. We did other shapes. And I usually use red, green, and white frosting. I can't get this open, but I only did white frosting yesterday. But there's candles and snowmen and snowflakes and the gingerbread men and angels. So there's that, and then this is Harry's fudge. Then we'll have the cream wafers, and if I decide to make a couple recipes of sugar cookies. And then that's it, because I have all of that other there on the cookie table, and it's quite a bit that we have. I thought I would share with you guys my gingerbread. It's gingerbread men, but you can do other shapes. You don't have to just do gingerbread men. Anyway, I thought I'd share a recipe with you because I always get people asking to share my recipes. And I actually had somebody yesterday ask me to share this recipe for my gingerbread cookies. I have shared my molasses cookies with you guys before. I even think the video's titled Molasses Cookies. Anyway, my neighbor that lived next door to us in Virginia, she was Norwegian and Swedish descent. And some of her grandparents and great-grandparents, you know, I guess came from Scandinavian countries. And so the molasses cookie recipe and the gingerbread men cookie recipe that she gave me, they're from her family. And she never told me I couldn't share them, and I've shared them over the years. So anyway, this is passed down from her Norwegian grandmother. So let me tell you what you need and what you are going to do. So you need to get 2/3 cup of butter. And I think 1/3 of a cup is 5 of the tablespoons. So like when you get the stick of butter and you count 5 of those blocks into like 1/3 of the following one. And then you repeat that. So that'd be 10 of those tablespoons. And then a little bit more. So I just do 11. So just count off your little squares, and that will be 2/3 cup of butter. And then you need 2/3 cup of sugar. What you're going to do, put the butter in a pan, a saucepan. You're going to melt the butter. You're going to put the 2/3 cup of sugar in with it, the 2/3 cup of brown sugar, and you're going to mix that through until the sugars are dissolved. Once they're dissolved, you need to add 4 tablespoons of dark corn syrup, 4 tablespoons of molasses, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3 teaspoons of ginger, and then 3 teaspoons of clove. And I know a lot of people don't like a lot of clove. You can cut that back to like 2.5 teaspoons or just 2 teaspoons if you don't like a lot of clove. But don't omit the clove, because you don't have gingerbread cookies if you don't have the clove in there. You have to have it. So you're going to then mix that through. You're going to have that off of the heat now and pour it into a bowl. I'll just show you the size bowl that I use. I use a bowl like this size, like that. And the reason why you're going to put it in a bowl for 2 reasons. One, because you need to let it cool down a bit, and if you keep it in the pan that's already hot, you know, it's going to take a while for it to cool down. So you've got to transfer it to a bowl. That's the other reason. The second reason is you're going to next need 1/2 cup of water. So just get your measuring cup, put 1/2 cup of water in there, and then you need 4 teaspoons of baking soda added to the water. And then you're going to mix that, mix that, mix that. It takes a while for that to dissolve, but by the time that you let it sit and you're still allowing your other mixture to cool, which doesn't take that long, maybe up to 10 minutes. It doesn't take that long. And it doesn't have to be completely cold. You just don't want it where it's been piping hot from the stove. You just want it to cool down a little bit till it's warm. But anyway, you're going to take the baking soda water mixture, kind of like mix it through again, and then add it to the sugar butter mixture. Okay, when you do that, when the baking soda gets in with that, you're going to see it'll start to puff up a little bit. That's why you need a decent sized bowl so it's not running over. And then what you're going to do is get another bowl, and in that bowl you're going to have 5 cups of flour. You can sift your flour if you want to, and once you get the flour in there, you take then the other liquid mixture and you start slowly pouring it in while you're mixing. If you have another person around, it makes it a little bit easier, because then they can, it's not like you're having to stop and put it down. They can just pour while you stir. And that's what my daughter did yesterday. She poured and I stirred it. But I've done it where I've done it myself. It's just that, it's annoying because you got to keep putting your bowl down, picking it back up while you're mixing it. But anyway, you're going to get that all mixed up till you get all the liquid in there. Towards the very end, because it's going to get kind of stiff while you're stirring it with the spoon. I just pull the spoon out, get my hands, and get in there and just knead it a little bit. You won't need to knead it a lot. And you'll see by the time that you get it all worked in, your dough is going to be the same consistency of like Play-Doh. That's really, when it's in your hands, it's almost like you got Play-Doh in your hands. And then I just take half of it, roll out, my dough, then start, getting my cookie cutters. The other half, some people cover theirs up, they say don't let the air get to it, because it starts to dry it out a little bit. But you know what? You're working so fast cutting those cookies that it doesn't make a difference to me, because when you go to pick up the other dough, yeah, it might feel a little bit dry to the touch a little bit, but once you start kneading it again, it's all fine. So, but you do what you want to do. You can either cover it up with plastic or not. I don't. So when you go to bake them, you're baking it in the oven at 325, not 350, and you're going to bake them for 8 minutes. And so that is the recipe that I use for my gingerbread cookies. Well, I just got back from the dentist, and everything is fine, except for I have a cavity, and it's at the back of my molar on the side. I think it's on the side, like butted up to the tooth. And my dentist said it's very deep, which means when he goes to clean it out, he said more than likely it will go to the center of the tooth and I will need to do a root canal. So I got to have that done in January. And he was surprised I didn't have any pain. It's like, no, nothing hurts me. So anyway, I stopped at the grocery store. I needed to pick up some milk, and I wanted to check to see if they had my Santa Coke bottles. Ta-da! Not only did they have Coke bottles this year, let me show you. Voila! They also have Dr. Pepper, and they have Sprite. They don't have no Santas on them, but that's okay. So I got 1 Sprite, 2 Dr. Pepper, and 3 Cokes. So for right now, I think I might leave these sit out in the garage because they'll stay cold out there. And then Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve or whatever, I will stick them, not all of them, but the ones that we'll start drinking, I'm going to put them in the fridge. And then actually, if we need more, if we drink a couple bottles, I don't know, we want another one or whatever, by keeping them out in the garage, they'll just be cold anyway, so that's fine. So that's what I need to do, is get a box to get all of these boxed up. I'm watching Scrooge while I'm getting my lasagna ready. Let me pause that for a minute. So, I think everybody gets a general idea of making lasagna. You just need your meat sauce, and I use mozzarella cheese, and I use grated Parmigiano Reggiano, and when I cook my noodles, I drain them, and then I pull them over the sides with my tongs here, so that way they completely drain, and then when you pick them up, they're not scalding your hands. So anyway, I'm going to assemble my lasagna. That's why I'm not going to show you how to do it, because I think we all know how to do it, but I'm just showing you the ingredients that I use, and I wanted to pass along that tip, that after you drain it, just drape all your noodles over your colander, and then you don't get burned. Another tip that I wanted to pass along, when you use your grated Parmigiano Reggiano or Parmesan, whatever you want, do you see what this is doing? When you put this in your sauce, have you ever had lasagna and it's real runny? Sometimes the sauce just has too much water and it's just a runny sauce. It's not real thick. But irregardless whether my sauce is the right consistency or if it's too thin. Just a set rule for myself, I put the cheese down here like this because it kind of soaks it up a little bit like a sponge. You see how it's kind of soaked up the sauce a little bit, and that will help keep down, you know, all the runniness of your sauce, especially if your sauce is a little bit on the runny side. And then I like to top it off. Well, I top it off with both cheeses, but I put this cheese down first and then this one on the top because then it gives the top a little bit of a crusty crust. Alrighty then, there's my lasagna ready to go in. Let me get up close. Oh, so another little tip so that you don't have runny sauce. You see what I'm using? I am using, oh, that's cheese that got in there. I'm using a slotted spoon. This way, when you pick it up, you're still going to get enough meat, but, you know, some of this, you know, if you shake it a little bit, you can get some of the sauce, extra sauce out of there. So really, you're just getting, you know, mostly your meat with sauce. So I think those were the only tips I wanted to tell you about how I make my lasagna. So now this is going in the oven for, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes. I usually check on it. Sometimes I like it done at 30, 35 minutes. Everything's just melted nice. But then sometimes I'm in the mood and I want my cheese just a little bit darkened on top. So then I let it go for like 45 minutes. But anyway, there we go. This is how I love my lasagna. Quite frankly, I even like pizza when the cheese gets like that. It gets like that, it's not golden brown, it gets like that darker golden brown color. I love it. So now I gotta scoop myself out a piece and I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is. And another little tip for not having all your stuff ooze out and run out, when you don't cut your lasagna, wait, I don't know, wait about 5 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, and then cut your lasagna, and then go ahead and serve it after, you know, it just sets, because it's that setting up time that also keeps stuff from, you know, being real runny and everything, and you'll get a nice piece of lasagna just like that. So that's my dinner. Now I got to get a fork and turn on my outside lights. There you are. He's been running around the house, and all I have going are just my Christmas lights, and I have his playroom with the lights out. I'm hoping that he settles down and winds down. It's probably going to be a while before he winds down because he is really wide awake still and full of lots and lots of energy. And that's why he's been running around a lot. And he's grabbing his toys. So I'll show you what time it is. It's going on 10:30. I got a couple videos I'm going to be filming tomorrow and then get those out to you guys too. So let me go see what he's doing. What you doing? Are you looking to see what you can get into? No, 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 no. We're not going to go back there. That's why that's there, so you don't go back there. No, you can't pull that either. Can we say good night? Are you going to go night-night?
Friends always help each other.
No, still not yet. You still don't look tired enough. He's going to take another lap around the house. Good night, everybody.